Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. A lot of people ask me what I would do if I was just starting up a business and had a few Benjamins to spend. I'm going to give you guys a few price points and some pointers. You're watching SnakeBytes. When thinking about investing in reptiles as a business, there's a few things to think about. The first one is certainly how much money you have to spend. You also have to think about time and even space that you have. I'm going to use ball pythons as an example during this show just because they're a real simple example to use. If you had $1,000 to start, this is the way I would spend it. I would go with 3 co-dominant animals, really powerful ones like this Mojave, this spider, and this pinstripe. Those 3 animals are going to cost about $750. You can then just buy 15 normal ball python females to raise up to breed these 2, because each male can certainly breed up to 5 females. Then you're going to get in 2 years that type of production. Now I got to tell you, with $1,000 you're on a pretty shoestring budget, so I don't know what you're going to do about caging. I guess some homemade caging is going to be the way you're going to be going with $1,000. After a couple years of sweat equity that you're going to put into that $1,000 group of animals, you're ready for the breeding season. Certainly when you breed those 15 normal females, you're not going to get 15 clutches, but let's say out of every group of 5 females, you're going to get on average about 3 females to produce. And on average, those females are going to have about 6 eggs. Being the fact that these are all dominant or co-dominant animals, you're roughly going to get half of those babies being the actual mutation. So you're going to produce about 9 pinstripes, 9 Mojaves, and 9 spiders. Even if the price is $100 a piece, that's about $2,700 in return investment, not to mention the normal animals you're producing from it. So you're about $3,000 or tripling your investment, not including the time and energy you put into it. But it's a great way to get started. Now you can take those animals and trade them off for better animals up the road, or keep all the females for future breeding to get even cooler morphs. Here's a few examples you can do if you decide to raise up some animals with that original group. Say you take a pinstripe and you breed it to a spider, then you can produce a spinner, which is a double co-dominant animal. The next thing I'm going to do is take a spider to a Mojave and produce a Mojave spider. I'm also going to breed Mojave to Mojave to produce the super Mojaves.
Alright guys, it's Kyle's question of the week. Investments. Just thinking back at some of the investments I've made over the years, my house was a good investment. Spending all my graduation money on a '79 Trans Am that to bed, not a very good investment. I want to know from you guys, what are the best or worst investments you ever made? Text or video comment below. Let me know.
Now, if you have a little more money to spend, let's say $5,000, you can always go with the same thing as the $1,000 investment with all those base morphs, but then you have a bunch more animals to care for. I want to try to keep this below 20 animals so that it's easy for you to care for it. So we're going to go ahead and level up to a couple co-dominant males and a bunch of co-dominant females to breed. Now, one thing I want to talk about really quick is now we have enough budget to go ahead and buy caging. You can buy caging for 10, 12, or 20 animals for about $1,000. So look into stuff like Vision cages, ARS racks, or Freedom breeders. It's a great way to start. Let's go ahead and start with this bumblebee male and see which females I'm going to want to breed him to. Being that these animals are a little more expensive, I'm going to keep the groups a little smaller and only breed those double co-dominant males to 4 females apiece. That way I can really concentrate on those breedings. What I'm going to do is breed that bumblebee to a lemon blast. I'm going to breed it to 2 pastel females and a lesser female to get some cool babies. Let me show you what you're going to get. Breeding a bumblebee to a lesser, you get all kinds of things, anywhere from lessers and pastels and spiders, all the way to bumblebees and lesser bees. But the real crown jewel is definitely going to be a queen bee. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a queen bee to show you, but I do have this super queen bee, which is one step up. Just wanted to show this girl off. But as you can see, there's a lot of cool stuff you can get from that breeding combo. Breeding that same bumblebee to a couple pastel females, you can get super pastels, spiders, bumblebees, and killer bees. This happens to be a super pastel. And this is the other good animal in that combination, a killer bee. Breeding that bumblebee male to a lemon blast female, you're still going to get all the things that we talked about, pastels and all that stuff, but the real crown jewels are going to be spinner blast, killer blast, and super blast. This is actually a spinner blast. Taking the lemon blast to those couple pastel females and the bumblebee, we're going to get the same results as we did in the previous breedings. The one thing we didn't talk was taking a lemon blast to a lesser and the results you're going to get from that. You're going to get things like lemon blast, pinstripes, pastels, but the ones you're really shooting for are kingpins and pastel kingpins. This happens to be a kingpin. So with an investment of those original animals, which are less than 15 snakes to raise up, within a few years of breeding them, you certainly should be able to return over $20,000 if you have decent production and have decent odds with your hatch rate. Not to mention, you'll be able to hold back some really cool stuff for the second generation breedings. Moving on to the big dollars. Let's say you have $10,000 to spend, but you still want to keep it under 20 animals. I'm going to switch it up just a little bit on you here. I'm going to throw a recessive in there like this humblebee. It's actually still a double codominant, but it's a recessive with the ghost gene. I'm also going to stick with a triple codominant, the spinner blast male, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a blue-eyed leucistic male because they're just awesomely and pure white. And I'm going to show you the females. I'm going to breed those two. I'm going to take that humblebee male to 4 females. 2 of them are going to be ghosts, just like this female right here. And what you're going to get from that breeding are honeybees, ghosts, humblebees, and pastel ghosts. None of those animals are crazy, but they're all really great selling animals. Taking the humblebee to a pastel ghost female just like this, I'm going to get everything that's going to be ghost, but I'm going to get pastel ghost, I'm going to get super pastel orange ghost, still get some humblebees, and actually get some killer humblebees, which I personally have never produced or I don't own, but I've seen a couple of them. They're absolutely outrageous. So there's some really good combinations with that breeding. Now what I'm going to do is take this spinner blast male and breed it to 2 pastel females and 2 bumblebee females. Now those 2 animals are going to result in the same type of combos. I've already showed you stuff like killer bees, bumblebees, super pastels, killer blasts, spinner blasts, all stuff like that. But again, it's going to be some really powerful animals that not only sell for good money, but also are great for raising up to combine with other mutations. With the last animal in the $10,000 group that I would do is keeping it really simple and go with a super lesser or a blue-eyed leucistic and about 4 or 5 lesser females. All you're basically going for here is to produce a whole bunch of white snakes and a bunch of lessers, but white snakes always sell really well. Not to mention having them in your collection is a fantastic way to go. I think that even conservatively, if you had a good year breeding these animals in the $10,000 group, you should easily be able to make $40,000 or keep a bunch of animals back for the future generations. So remember, these ideas are just really for first tier and not even very much of the second tier animals. As you keep producing and growing colonies, you're just going to get better and better stuff. You can also trade off for even higher end or different projects. And remember, again, this is just with ball pythons. There's the same project going on with corn snakes and hognose and boas and reticulated pythons. It's really endless. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what you could do with your money. But remember, guys, it's about the animals and it's never about the money, and you'll be really successful. I always go by the saying, follow what you love and the money will come. All right, guys, thanks for coming in. You guys know that I've been doing reptiles for 20 plus years. Well, it's time that I take on a partner to help out. And you 3 guys have all been with me a long time, but I only need one of you guys. I've got 3 checks here, $5,000. I'm going to give each one of you guys a check. You guys invest it any way you guys want. I'm going to find out what kind of businessman you are. In a couple weeks, we're going to come back, find out what you did with the $5 grand, and whoever does best is going to take over the business with me. Here you go, Kel. George and Chewy.
Oh, I guess this is over with already.
Make me proud, guys.
Look who I'm up against, George and Chewy. Are you serious? God, I'm smart, I'm cunning, I can't lose. This is over with before it even started.
I know Brian longer than anybody, and with my plan, this is in the bag.
Look at me, I'm young, I have fresh, original ideas. Look at his face. It's the face of a winner. And if he doesn't pick me, he's definitely racist.
Alright, people, we got something interesting here. Blockbuster stocks. $1.50, well, it just went up to $2 a share. I better buy this.
My perfect plan. Opening a bar. Moneymaker. Here we go. Research time, baby.
So what do you think about that dress I got you last night? I think you look sexy in red, baby.
Chewy's been with me a long time, so I think wisdom might come into play. Kel, on the other hand, he's really sharp, he learns quick. George, I tell you, he's the wild card in this one. There's no doubt he's the dark horse.
Okay, so my stocks are falling. People aren't just gonna stop renting movies, right? I'm gonna go rent some movies right now.
Hey, baby, you like champagne? What about champagne in Paris?
Research time! I love research!
Hey, Lord, you seen Chewy lately?
He hasn't been in a few days. I think he might be sick or something.
Huh. That's weird. All right, guys, it's been 2 weeks. $15,000 of my money I gave to you guys. Kel, you decided to buy 2,500 shares of Blockbuster stock at $2 a share. It's worth 6 cents this morning. That's $150. And I wouldn't last so much, George. I'm telling you, you took your big girlfriend over to France and you're completely freaking broke. At least Kel has $150. And frickin' Chewy, what the hell's wrong with you, man? No, I don't want a frickin' beer. You spent $5,000 in 2 weeks. You need a blood transfusion, for God's sakes. I can't be more frickin' disappointed in you guys. I really can't. So I've made a decision. Co-owner of BHB, the guy that can carry the load on his shoulders, be your guy's boss that you have to listen to, is Mandel's Mark. Good luck.
Hey, dude.
Freaking idiots.
Get him!
For this week's Comment of the Week on the Snakes, Lizards, and Turtles Oh My episode, the question was, what's your favorite TV show coming out this fall? And Texas Twitch said,
My favorite new show is Community. I've loved Chevy Chase since I was a kid, the early 80s, and have enjoyed everything he has ever done. Spies Like Us is still my favorite movie of all time. That and getting to watch Allison Brie isn't too bad either.
yeah, Community is an awesome show, and as a matter of fact, my buddy Dave Seeger actually works on that show. He was the guy that shot the very first Snake Bites episode, so a big thumbs up to those guys. You guys know my favorite shows, Ghost Hunters and Destination Truth. Until next time, you guys keep sending me creative comments. I'm going to feature you on a future episode. So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and took a few pointers from me on what I would do if I was starting a business. But I can't stress to you guys enough, although I don't see anything wrong with making money on snakes, you should never put money before your animals. You guys might notice I'm wearing an Urban Jungles Radio shirt. Go ahead and check those guys out at urbanjunglesradio.com. They have a new radio show every Friday night. It's really cool. Until next time, this has been Snake Bites.
So I start all over?
Yeah.
Right. Have you seen what I'm up against? These guys have no chance at all at winning. Look at Kel. He knows nothing. I'm young, I'm fresh, I'm cunning. I keep it. You